Hello YouTube family, welcome back to Simz Vidz for another video. I am Simone. Before we get into this video, I would love for you to do two things for me. The first is to subscribe. If you are still watching, just push that subscribe button. So subscribe, like, comment, and share on the videos. The second thing is, please, I would love if you would go over to Instagram and follow my business page, Sateri_. Let's get into this. Where do I start? A lot of people don't realize that mental health is real. It is a real and serious thing. And if you personally are not experiencing certain things, you wouldn't understand. Now, what I've come to realize is that a lot of people go through different types of trauma in terms of mental health. You have people that go through the actual physical abuse, and it really messes up just their whole being with dealing with something like that. Then you have the emotional abuse, where people are just playing and not realizing that emotionally you're hurting someone. And then you have the verbal abuse, where you have people that just say hurtful things, very hurtful things. And someone who is struggling with mental health, they don't deal with these things very well. And when I say mental health, it could be, mental health doesn't have only one face. Somebody could be stressed and they fall in depression. Someone could be struggling with anxiety and they're just not coping because fear is just taking them over. And then you have someone that is just really off balanced. Now, the reason why I chose to talk about this topic is because mental health is on the rise and a lot of people are not taking it serious. And why do I say that? There was an incident at my workplace, and not that my eyes were not open before, but it really, really made me start to think about certain things. So basically what happened was a parent was calling, and I wasn't at work yet. But from what I heard from my coworkers is a parent was calling to inquire about a space. So my coworker who answered the call was trying to help her because she wasn't understanding. No, she was asking for information that she needed in order to help this parent get the information that she was inquiring about. Well, for whatever reason, this parent started to go off on my coworker. And when I say my coworker who was dealing with this parent, she is such a lovely lady. Her heart is just pure. I've never heard her raise her voice. She just has this mellow tone to her voice. And this situation really, really shook her because the parent was going off and she wasn't listening. It unfortunately resorted to where the parent actually started threatening my coworker. When I got to work now, my coworker that took the call and another coworker, they were both telling me what took place. And I was trying to wrap my head around exactly what they were saying. So what happened was my other coworker, who was basically trying to keep the coworker that took the call, she was trying to keep her calm because it was a very upsetting situation. So my coworker, who was telling me detail for detail exactly what was happening, she remembered the number that came up on the caller ID. My coworker and I, we got the attendance book that we have, and we went through each parent because we thought maybe it was a parent that was inquiring about a child that was already enrolled in our program. But we went through that list. We could not match the name to the list that we had. So that's when we realized it wasn't a parent of a child that was already in our care. This parent was probably looking for a space. My problem with this whole situation at this point was the fact that the parent wasn't giving my coworker the opportunity to help her the way that she could have. Instead, this parent resorted to threatening, cursing, disrespecting, and was actually trying to belittle my coworker by telling her, who is she? She is nothing. Now, when I heard that, I'm like, what do you mean? She said, who are you? You are nothing. Now, clearly, this parent did not realize the person that she was actually speaking to was one of the people that could actually help her. Basically, by the time I got in, the supervisor had to be called, the program manager had to be called, we had to call the custodians just to let them be aware of the fact that this parent was threatening. Like, the parent went as far as saying that she knew what time the director came in. Now, we don't have director at the daycare. We have the supervisor, but we knew that's what she meant. But she was saying that she knew what time the director was coming in. She wanted to know the name of the director. And if the name of the director was not given to her, she was just gonna walk over to the daycare. Now, obviously, we're not gonna give information about somebody that works in the daycare, whether it's a coworker, another parent, or a child, because it's confidential. At that point, we thought this parent was going to come to the daycare and actually cause a scene. When the supervisor came in, things were put in place. So what is so crazy about this whole thing is when the supervisor came in, the parent called back and the supervisor was trying to help her. So basically, the supervisor was trying to tell her the steps in which we take when a child is enrolled, or how to enroll a child. This parent went off again and started cursing and disrespecting the supervisor. The supervisor ended the call, which, you want to know what? She had all right to. So at that point, that is when we realized, you want to know what? We don't know what this parent is capable of doing, so we need to put safety measures in place. So when the supervisor ended the call, she ended up calling back, and another coworker of mine answered the call. And in that call, what we were getting is that she was frustrated. She was getting the runaround in terms of information, and she just wanted to know exactly what the steps were. Now, if she had listened to the supervisor would have helped her. But because she was so frustrated, she just resorted to anger. And when you're dealing with mental health, sometimes our anger gets the best of us. So in a nutshell, nothing really got resolved because she wasn't listening. When the information was trying to be delivered to her, she was not listening. So unfortunately for her, nothing really came out of it except for her disrespecting people that was actually, they were trying to help, but because she was just so in her feelings, she wasn't listening to anyone. And that's unfortunate. But in dealing with mental health, that is how it is, unfortunately. But I'm hoping that that parent gets the help that she needs, and she was able to figure out what information she was seeking. And I just hope the best for her. Unfortunate, but yeah, that's just how it is. I hope you liked this little video that I made, and I would love for you to subscribe. If you've been watching this far, might as well you push that subscribe button. So please subscribe, like, share, comment. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.